And we're back with more Ace Attorney Investigation 2. Francesca has come to rescue us, I think within a secret mission that I'm assuming Courtney had given her? And now she's coming in for a Deus Ex Machina moment. So let us continue. However, don't get the wrong idea. I only came here to find out the truth behind what happened to Kay Faraday. I don't plan on forgiving you for abandoning the prosecutor's path. That's fine. I understand. You should thank your former subordinate. He gave me some valuable information which may save Kay for a day. Detective Gumshoe did. Listen well, Miles Edgeworth. This will be the final piece of evidence. Jill Crane suffered the wound on her head first. Fran? Well, someone say something! Well, I hate to say it, but we've already proved that. Already Yes, well, just a few moments ago. Ah! You should have told me sooner! You're the one who barged in here and started talking. Well, then, does that mean you found out what the murder weapon was already? No, not yet. Huh, is that so? In that case, listen well. The victim was struck on the head with a blunt cylindrical object. The wound on her chest was suffered post-mortem. A cylindrical murder weapon. Okay, it is the gavel then. It had to be the gavel. You know, this report of yours, I trust it's accurate, of course. These were the results of 2 independent autopsies carried out by 2 respected doctors. That's reassuring, but it's too bad. You have no right to investigate this. Interpol is after the black market auctions, and I'm the prosecutor in charge of the investigation. The victim participated in the auction. Therefore, it is only natural for me to investigate. Now butt off, Blaze! Especially now that she's been murdered. I see. Clever girl, little Von Karma. Look at her standing up against Blaze. Then it has been settled. The victim died from blunt force trauma to the head. Updated autopsy. So it's gotta be the gavel, though. Unfortunately, the murder weapon has yet to be found. Just knowing the shape of the murder weapon gives me an idea to what it might be. Hey, it's my investigation. We didn't find any other murder weapons, you know. If you consider the conductor's possession and the crime scene, the answer should be clear. The blunt cylindrical object used in the auction hall was the auction gavel. The judge's gavel. It was something the conductor had in their hand during the auction. Namely, an auction gavel. An auction gavel? We didn't find anything like that! If the culprit is a conductor, it is possible that the gavel may be the murder weapon. However, that alone is not reason enough. Wouldn't you agree? Of course, I have proof to back it up. This piece of evidence proves that the murder weapon is the auction gavel. Lotta's testimony. Saving our butt. According to Miss Hart's testimony, after the victim had been murdered, it seems she suddenly stopped hearing the sound of the gavel during the auction. However, she had been able to hear it up until then. Why was that, you ask? It was because it had been used as the murder weapon and was covered in the victim's blood. It became necessary to dispose of it. Isn't that right? Blaze the best! I'll have a search for the murder weapon performed immediately. Well, good luck with that, you know. You've got to work as hard as you can while you're young, you see? He's completely confident that we won't find it. Well then, while the search for the murder weapon continues, I hereby call for a brief recess. To be continued. We are continuing because we just got here. We just started this. Why would I stop now? Oh, but we're getting close to the end. I can feel it. Slow text. Oh, I can skip that text. Excellent. Order in the court. We're not in a courtroom, Courtney. Prosecutor Von Karma, your report, please. I have bad news. We've searched every inch of the Grand Tower, but the auction gavel was nowhere to be found. That is most unfortunate. It seems I am left with no choice but to pronounce a verdict.
Well, it sure seems that way, you know. Normally, you wouldn't commit a blunder like leaving behind the murder weapon, you know? The best criminals would never do something like that, you see?
I don't have enough information. Is this as far as I can go?
Yes, it's a shame, you know, but it can't be helped, you see. This takes me back, you know. All those defendants who came to me asking for a plea bargain. They trusted me, you know. Told me every one of their dirty little secrets, you see. And when it came time for the trial, I'd give them sentenced to life in prison. They were all completely dumbstruck, you know? Each and every one of them. Oh, how I wish you all could have seen it, you know? The stupid look on their faces. Jesus, Blaze!
I shall hereby announce my verdict. Please humbly accept the words of the law.
There's nothing more I can do. But this, both Kay and I are...
If only we had some evidence! I never thought that I would be passing judgment on you like this.
Is this the end? No, it is not. We're going to stop this somehow.
The defendant, Blaze the Best, I hereby indict you.
Whoa! What? 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 Oh? What's gotten into you all of a sudden?
I have here documents regarding a certain case. The IS-7 incident, a case that happened 18 years ago.
Documents, you say? Why would you suddenly... Wait, you don't mean... On the day of the crime, the record of your car key being used was because...
I came to this room to fetch these documents, of course. Although, when I entered the meeting room, it seems it was before the black market auction had begun. At first, I told you that I came to gather documents about you, Prosecutor Ertsworth. At that time, I simply could not tell you the truth.
Wow, we're bringing back the IS-7 already. Jesus, Oh, Courtney! What are you doing, Justine? Why are you indicting Pops? Without any basis. This is slander. Is it?
That was a wonderful remark, Sebastian.
Huh? Really?
Of course there is a basis. During the case 18 years ago, Prosecutor Manfred von Karma fabricated information regarding the body.
That was because the body of the sculptor, Isaac Dover, had been stolen. Papa fabricated information about a body? What do you mean? Oh, come on, you shouldn't be surprised by this point.
Detective Lacer, who handled the initial investigation, reported the body had gone missing. However, in order to deceive Prosecutor von Karma, there is a person who purposely did not report to him that the body had disappeared.
What? What did you say?
That person would not forgive those who defied him, nor would he allow others to hold power. He would use any means necessary in order to bend others to his will. And then, also 18 years ago, Director Young was ordered by a certain individual to write a fake autopsy report.
Dr. Young was the one who wrote the autopsy report for the IS-7 incident?
Hold it! Please, wait! Granny didn't do anything wrong! She was ordered by that person! She had no choice but to obey!
That person
was the chief prosecutor at the time.
The chief prosecutor, 18 years ago? You don't mean...
The chief prosecutor.
Oh, the chief prosecutor who gave Papa his first penalty. And now we've learned there's an even bigger dick than Von Karma.
It was none other than you, Blaze the Best.
What are you saying? Pops would never do something like that.
Sebastian, we do not need your opinion right now. Blaze the Best, do you have a rebuttal?
Fabricating stuff about the body, Von Karma. About the body, Von Karma did all that on his own, you know? Falsifying the autopsy report. Young, you would actually do something like that? Man, you really did some terrible things behind my back, you know? Seeing as how all the parties concerned are here today, we should ask them directly.
Hold it. Hold it, please, wait, Granny is, Granny, I'm sorry. I knew. That's why Yep, because if I didn't, he said he would expose you. If I didn't assist in the crime, Granny would be prosecuted. That's what that man, the conductor, told me.
Blaze! So Miss Jensen was being threatened. Was the conductor who threatened you, Blaze the best?
That I don't know. The person who threatened me was the auction conductor. They do have similar physiques, but I never saw the person's face.
It's gotta be Blaze, though, at this point. Any trivial thing is fine. Give us a characteristic that could be a clue.
That's right. The conductor's mask, it exposed just a tiny part of his face. There was a tattoo there. I'm sure of it.
He had a tattoo. A tattoo, you say? Blaze? You really have no idea what you're talking about, you know? As you can see, there are clearly no tattoos on my face, you see? Is he wearing a wavy wig? I think because we were left with a wavy wig, so that person doesn't match me at all, you know? The person who threatened her, this so-called conductor, I wonder who it is, you know?
You have incurred the wrath of the goddess of law. I suggest you watch what you say.
Hasn't he incurred your own wrath rather than the wrath of the goddess?
Jill Crane had been pursuing you just as I have.
Oh.
And I will not let her death be in vain.
Crane was, you say she was pursuing me. My, I didn't really know her that well, you know? I don't mind girls chasing after me, you know? But I don't recall her ever falling for me, you see? Not in that way.
You didn't know the victim well. That is a testimony we haven't heard up until now. Before the eyes of the goddess of law, you shall give us an official testimony.
I see. Everyone is bullying me. If you're going to go that far, that's fine, you see. I'll just have to make you disappear. Every last one of you.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, I shall cooperate with you as well. If we let this opportunity slip by, I doubt we will ever get him to stand in court again. Please, do not let this chance go to waste.
Yes. I promise I will live up to your expectations. Thank God, Courtney! Finally! A lot of things about her finally make sense, but she still was really annoying and pushy early on.
Now then, Blaze the Best, you shall testify regarding the victim.
Whew! Here we go! The final testimony! The victim, Jill Crane, was a member of the Prosecutorial Investigation Committee, you see? Personally, I didn't really know her that well, you know? Either way, it's not like I had a motive to murder her, you know? I have no idea why she was pursuing me, you see? You intend to deny your guilt until the bitter end, don't you? Of course he does! There's no way Pops could be the criminal! I mean, he's my Pops, you know? He's the very best, like no one ever was! Pokemon. Yes, Sebastian. If you're going to stick up for me, be sure to have a clear basis, you know? Alright, I got it. I'll clear you of these false accusations, Pops. I believe in you, Pops. We won't lose to someone like Mr. Edgeworth. Yes. You really are pure, you know?
That person, he really loves his father, doesn't he? However, one must be able to accept the mistakes of their father. No matter how much they may look up to him. Each person must atone for their crimes, no matter who they are.
This is going to be hard for Sebastian, but I simply cannot overlook his father's crimes. Oh, Francesca totally understands this situation. Well, so does Edgeworth in a sense, I guess. Alright, let's press on everything. So close to the end now. If she was a member of the PIC, then you should have been familiar with her.
Well, I knew her face, but that's about it, you know. It's not like we met each other on a regular basis, you see.
We're gonna skip over this. Was there ever any trouble between you two over work?
Unlikely, you know. I'm kind of important, you see. I've gotten reports saying that she was exceedingly capable. But, you know, our social status was completely different, you see? So we didn't talk much, you know.
That may be true, but it doesn't prove that you didn't kill her.
That's rather prejudiced, you know. I mean, look at you. You're taking the side of a criminal.
It seems Miss Crane was the one who had an interest in you, Mr. Chairman.
You know, that really is a mystery. I haven't the faintest idea, you see. So that's that. Since I had no motive, your reasoning doesn't hold, you know?
Let's keep pressing. So you have no clue why the victim had been pursuing you?
Nope. Not in the slightest, you know?
It's because Pops is such a handsome man!
It's true, you know? Women appear before me and then disappear. Disappear and then reappear. What?
Oh god, the implications from this! Blaze! Blaze! What the frick do you do to these people? I don't even want to imagine what he does. You guys could never reach my Pop's level of awesomeness!
It would certainly be impossible for a normal person. Having people appear and then physically disappear on a daily basis.
Well then, maybe Courtney's going to disappear too.
Huh. Before that happens, I'll see to it your way of life disappears today.
I see. Then I should finish it before the day's over.
I will have to organize my information about the victim.
If there's anything you don't understand, you should look over the evidence again.
Perhaps you'll find a new fact this time around.
Francesca, you're willing to help me.
I told you I'm doing this for Kay for a day, not you.
Francesca seems to be worrying about Kay in her own way. Alright. Aw, Franny. Alright, let's press here. So you're saying you weren't very familiar with the victim?
That's right. I didn't even know about the burn mark on Crane's hand, you see?
You didn't know about the burn mark? Wait, we didn't even talk about that.
Well, you see, even if I had gotten close to her, she would have disappeared soon. It's a pain to remember someone, you know, when they're just gonna disappear, you see?
How would you... In other words, anyone who defines him disappears. I would like you to add your statement about the victim's burn to your testimony. How do you know that?
I only just learned that she had a burn mark on her hand, you see?
So you're saying that you didn't know about the victim's burn. Is that really the truth?
You really are persistent, you know? Do you really think I would pay attention to every little wound on a woman's hand?
I would think the burn mark on the victim's hand would be hard to miss.
Now that you mention it, Jill Crane would regularly wear gloves. I too did not know about the burn until the incident occurred.
Jill Crane regularly wore gloves.
I thought so. She was probably trying to hide the burn mark, you see? I understand how sensitive a woman can be about these things, you know?
I would like you to add your so-called sensitive understanding of a woman to your testimony.
Maybe she was always wearing gloves in order to hide the burn mark, you know?
I'm gonna present something there, but let's press. So you were aware that she always wore gloves?
Well, aware. Those gloves were practically her trademark, you see? But I guess they weren't just a fashion statement. She wanted to hide her burn mark, you know? Wonder if that girl over there is also hiding something under her bandages.
Huh? I'm not hiding anything.
I think you are, you know. You're hiding the face of a criminal. Alright, Goggle Man.
Those words should be directed at someone like you. I shall expose here and now the face of a true criminal.
How amusing! Go ahead and try it, if you think you can. I can and I will.
So Jill Crane regularly wore gloves. That's interesting. I should look over the evidence one more time. Alright. Alright, let's go back. Alright, we're gonna present the stuffed animal. Where's the stuffed animal? There's the stuffed animal. Jill Crane regularly wore gloves. If that is true, then it creates a huge contradiction.
Oh? A huge contradiction, you say?
I would like you to listen to the voice recorded on this stuffed animal one more time.
I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. Silence, huh? I've been waiting for my chance to get revenge all this time. Ah!
We were under the assumption that this was the moment when the victim was murdered. I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. We thought that this statement was said by the culprit.
Isn't that fine? What's the problem, you know?
There is a huge problem with that. If the victim had been wearing gloves from the start, it would have been impossible to see the burn on her hand.
Objection.
This is true.
Gloves come off very easily, you know. She could have taken them off during the auction.
That's also true.
Hold it, that's not true. Miss Crane had been wearing her gloves when I took her place. She must have been wearing them before she was murdered.
What are you saying? Don't you understand the position you're in?
I'm not scared anymore. I have Granny here with me.
Blaze, your day of reckoning has finally come. Somehow, it seems like you all want to disappear. Permanently!
The only one who will be disappearing here is you, Blaze the Best. Hey! How dare you say that to Pops? Does it really matter if the burn mark was visible or not? Yes! It certainly does matter. If the burn mark was visible, then we'd have a complete turnabout of the situation. What? What are you saying? If the victim's burn mark wasn't visible, what exactly does that tell you?
The culprit also had a burn mark.
Sebastian, turn your way of thinking around. If the victim was wearing gloves, then her burn mark could not have been seen. In that case, whose burn mark was seen? Someone else's burn mark? Precisely, the culprit must have had a burn mark as well. In other words, I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. The person who said this was not the culprit but the victim. What?
Objection.
Sebastian, could you please step aside? Edgeworth, all your reasoning up till now was just a figment of your imagination, you know. The culprit had a burn mark? Where was it, you know? If you can't answer that, then your logic doesn't hold up, you know. Where was the culprit's burn mark?
I wonder where the burn mark could have been. During the auction, wasn't everyone wearing a disguise?
Indeed, during the auction, everyone should have been dressed in a particular way. If the burn mark was still visible under those conditions, then...
Now, why don't you show us? Where was the culprit's burn? You'll have to show me the proof, you see.
Let's present the conductor's clothes. It was what the conductor was wearing during the auction. In other words, the outfit you were wearing at the time.
What can you figure out from the clothes alone?
The conductor had been wearing a white suit, white gloves, and a mask. His attire had covered up most of his skin. However, according to Miss Jensen's testimony, the conductor's mask exposed a small part of his face. In addition, while she thought there had been a tattoo there, it's possible that she simply mistook the burn mark for a tattoo. A burn mark on his face!
Objection.
That's all very scintillating, but I'm afraid you're getting excited over nothing, you know. None of the PIC members have any burn marks on their faces, you see. Naturally, that includes me as well, you know?
Huh? Pops! But...
Sebastian, could you please be quiet? If you're an idiot, then act like one, you know? Sebastian! Normally, Sebastian is a nuisance to everyone around him. But this time, I owe him my gratitude. That reaction from Blaze's own son, it reveals the truth more clearly than anything else. Thanks to him, I am confident that my reasoning is correct. You know, because of how much of a dick Blaze is, I'm more or less impressed he even got a kid. I know who that unidentified piece of evidence belongs to.
I wonder what's wrong with that prosecutor.
Usually, Sebastian is slower to arrive at the truth than anyone else. However, this time he has probably figured it out. His own father is a criminal.
Since he knows the truth, he's in pain, isn't he? If he didn't know the truth, he could have remained blissful in his ignorance.
Kay, we are here in order to pursue the truth. It doesn't matter what path my reasoning takes, the important thing is to arrive at the truth. Once before, when I lost faith in my reasoning, you said that to me and showed me the way. This time, I shall show you the truth. You are innocent.
I also want to know the truth. Mr. Edgeworth, please tell me.
Yes, that's the spirit. That's impossible, you know, for all of you. I mean, just where could I possibly have a burn mark? It's nowhere to be found, you see. There's no evidence to prove that I'm the culprit, you know. You want to bet? That's right! There's no contradiction at all! There's no way there can be a contradiction! Not for my pops! Sebastian, this is gonna hurt a lot. Sebastian, I understand why you don't want to admit it. However, if you avert your eyes from the truth, you will regret it forever.
But Pops, just what should I do?
Ha! I really wonder why you're such an idiot, you know? Sebastian, if you really want to save me, you'll have to try a little bit harder, you see? Gotta use your head, you know? Honestly, you really are a useless idiot.
No way! But I tried real hard! I tried my best, Pops! I went to school for you, I went to the school you told me to go to, reached the top of my class, just like you told me to. Just look at this jacket! Only someone who graduates at the top of his class gets to wear it! I did everything you told me to do! That's how I got to be the best at the academy! I even won all those awards just so I could be like you, Pops!
I think there's more to those things. You really are such an idiot, you know? You know those gold stars you got on your test? I made the teachers give them to you. Every speech and debate contest, all of the judges were my friends. You know, Sebastian, if you aren't even able to notice something like that, you really are not worthy of being called my son, don't you think? Whoa! Oh, sorry, I messed that up. My bad. Aw, even my son has disappeared. I want to punch this jerk in the face. Even Sebastian didn't deserve that. Holy shit. Oh my. It's enough to make me cry, you know? He was trying his best for me, and yet he was totally useless, you know? You are truly a despicable person. As the chairman of the PIC, and as a father. Even I feel sorry for that foolish prosecutor.
Poor Mr. Prosecutor. Blaze the best, just what do you think of your own son?
He's just a useless pawn, you see? Well now, maybe you should look in the mirror before you criticize me, you know? I mean, even you. You also used Sebastian to get close to me, didn't you?
I cannot deny that. However, he is not a mere pawn. He always tries to do his very best, even if the results aren't up to par.
Poor Sebastian. Oh, and we're almost out of time again. So, I'm hoping we're going to be able to finish this up in the next video. So, I will see you guys then. Bye-bye!